Hello, welcome everybody. It's Aunt Lainey's Kitchen. I'm cooking live, but actually today it's very hot. So I have already, like what I'm gonna make, the Sloppy Joe scoops, I already made it. Like technically, I think I made this maybe a day or two ago. But here's what happens. Whenever you've got Sloppy Joes, what happens is if there's not enough for a sandwich, either this can go to waste or you end up kind of like with this like little flat sandwich, a little bit of tortilla, and then you're like, gosh, I'm hungry for something else. But what if you just kind of like embraced the fact that there's not a lot of meat here, and you're like, you know what? Instead of like trying to make this a meal, or though this could be a meal if you had the right side, I guess, why don't we put them into scoops? Why don't we turn this into a scoop situation? And that is what I am going to do. So probably like last month, I discovered I was like going shopping. I think it was at Hy-Vee, and I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of like load up on some ground, meat and whatever, not ground beef because I'm not a millionaire, but there was a ground turkey, and I was looking at some other things. They have like ground taco meat and ground Sloppy Joes, and usually I'd be like, ooh, this is kind of like, I just want to, kind of make it like I usually would make my own Sloppy Joe and create all the seasonings and all that stuff, but I was kind of tired, and I thought, you know what? Let's just give this a try. Now, it's not something I'm going to do all the time, but just kind of to know it's out there, when it gets cold outside and maybe I'm running low on seasonings, although does that really happen with me? I have a lot of seasonings, but just in case, okay, we're being all hypothetical right now. So I thought, okay, let's come up with solutions. So I've got a tablespoon right here, and again, as you can see, there is not a lot of meat on here. So just, and I might not even have enough for these scoops, although I think I might. So I'm going to start here. Now, these scoops are something you can find, in the store. They're kind of like the tortilla scoops. And I find, I think I got these at Aldi's. And I've been finding usually, because again, not a lot of people like to scoop. They want just like a straight dip. I feel like this, you can add other things here. There's such variety. A lot of times they're cheaper than just getting the regular tortilla chip. And listen, yesterday, we had these as like, because I kind of did Sloppy Joe tacos. Like I did like soft shell. I've got my panini maker, so I had this, and I made Sloppy Joes out of this, and then I just kind of had like the scoops like empty with some salsa, and that's kind of like what we ate as kind of as like an appetizer. So what I put in this chili right here, and again, this is cold, it's all cooked and all that stuff. But sometimes when you are in the summertime, you don't necessarily want to eat anything that's super hot. Like obviously you want to eat meat that's been cooked if it's supposed to be cooked, but you don't necessarily want to be sweating over your meat and all of that. So this is a really good way. Now I would say like with the Sloppy Joe, like it's kind of already like that, the Sloppy Joe kind of like tube of meat that I got. I tried it without, like, I was like, okay, how does this taste? Like I started, cooking it, whatever. And I was like, I'm just going to season it a little bit, see how it was. And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't to my tasting. So what I ended up adding is, and again, because I wasn't writing this down, I was just trying to kind of understand what was going on there. I ended up adding a lot of chili powder, a lot of ground, and again, ground, not fresh, a lot of ground, like cilantro lime seasoning with some lime juice. I also added, I think I added a little bit of ground pepper, a little bit of like, I think a little bit of cayenne pepper. I just kind of wanted to have like more of like a kick to it. I didn't want that institutional kind of taste. Also, I cooked up some red onions because I had some leftover fresh red onions. I cooked those, so I cooked those down. And then I put them into the meat. I also had some red peppers that I prepared as well, so I had that all cooked in, so that was ready to go. And so that's kind of what I did. So to give it a kick. Now, not everybody likes to have kick in their food like that, but I wanted a little bit of that because otherwise I'm like kind of like, what are we doing here? Now for these scoops, you've got some choices. You can either get some fresh cheese. I've got pepper jack cheese that I could add here to these. And I also have, what I like, because I was raised in Topeka, I like my powdered Parmesan. I'm not even going to lie. And yes, I've eaten at like, pretty nice restaurants, but I always go back to kind of like my Topeka ways. And I end up kind of, throwing this on top, a little powdered on top, if I don't feel like dealing with, you know, cheese. If I don't care about melting it, maybe it's more about an appearance than anything else, that's what I'm gonna do. So this is what we have right here. We have got like these Sloppy Joe scoops. Now, let me just go ahead and get this red pepper out. And again, I'm only eating this tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and like touch it with my hands, just FYI, but you know, if I cook for you, y'all know I do the gloves. Okay, I have got a 1/4 teaspoon right here. I'm gonna add like this, and I'm just kind of like sprinkle it a little bit, because I think what I might do, and this is like kind of, oof, okay, maybe I'll just do a 1/4 teaspoon each, because I was not wanting to sprinkle. So let's do that. So what I think I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna actually add some, I mean, again, this looks like I'm like, dang, I'm adding a lot, but that's okay. I'm gonna add like a little bit of flavor. Now, if it were regular times, what I would do is I would serve this on top of chopped lettuce. Like I kind of do like a taco salad situation kind of thing, but you know, I'm really kind of not trying to use fresh produce like that. I'm cooking everything that I have. So I'm not going to put it on top of, not going to put it on top of like fresh lettuce. But, you know, again, let me see here. I'm just going to show you what I have right here. And then also what I can do, let me see, where's this pepper jack? Pepper jack, where are you? Let's see here. Okay, I've got my pepper jack. And I'm actually going to use a spoon for this. And I'm not really doing a straight measurement of this like I usually would. I'm just kind of trying to give it a little bit of personality here. So we're just like a little bit, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is I am going to end up heating these up. So I'm not going to bake them, although if it were fall, I would probably like bake these a little bit. I'm probably just going to throw them in the microwave, which again, sometimes that can mess with the, what do you call it? That can mess kind of with the consistency of the chips, like the scoop chips, but I really don't care about that because it's hot outside and I don't care. So yeah, if I were serving this for other people, I probably would kind of rethink how I was doing it, but because it's for myself and I don't care, that is what we are serving tonight. And I will take a picture of this once I have melted it down. And, excuse me. Whew. Okay, so something else you can use if you wanted to do this, if you've got vegetables that you can kind of like cook down, and I know you might have to do some research on how hot they say you need to cook it to like possibly cook out anything that is could be problematic. You can look that up on the internet, but I probably would put some sauteed veggies in here. That would be good if you are a vegetarian. Get some sauteed veggies in there. Something else is I might even like do those sauteed veggies in a little bit of salsa. So it already has it, so I don't have to do that extra dipping. Although if you are a salsa person, you'd be like, girl, I'm doing it anyway. What is up, Miss Diana? Thank you so much. I'm doing a good job. Hey, look, you know what? I'm trying to like combat these food prices. And you know, I've been on a weight loss journey, so I have lost a lot of weight. I have no idea how much I've lost. I know I've got some more to go though. I got about 35 pounds to go. But you know, like I'm on that weight loss journey. Now I'm still gonna eat this, but I'm kind of doing smaller portions. And then I'm also trying not to waste food, because again, I don't need my grandma haunting me, my grandma's haunting me, or your grandma's going, hey, that girl right there wasting food, here we come, like grandma brigade. I don't need that. So I'm doing my best to not waste food and to like kind of watch my portions and all of that. So it's just kind of like a way to, you know, get rid of the remaining meat. And that way, if you've got like multiple people living in your house, they're like, I wanted the last piece, you can, you know, I wanted the last little bit of Sloppy Joe. You can be like, okay, look, I'm going to make it stretch. And now we can all kind of like have a couple of these as appetizers. And again, like I said, if we were in different times right now, I would throw this over some fresh lettuce and some fresh tomatoes and all that stuff and kind of eat it like that, kind of do literally like a taco, like a Sloppy Joe taco scoop salad, but we're not doing that right now. Something else you might want to do is you could probably put this like with some rice, maybe put this on a bed of like lime rice or something like that, or some Spanish rice. That would also be pretty good, I think. And yeah, that's all I got. I thought about doing like, you know, I'm like, hey, let's do a dessert. But like in the summertime, a lot of times we're literally just trying to make it, especially on the weeknights. We're like, okay, 4th of July is over, so we're just trying to slog through the rest of summer. And so, you know, a lot of times I'm not doing like things that are like too fancy in the summertime. Now in the fall and winter, I admit I'm that person. I want to be cozy. I want to make cozy things. And so there you go. But what I'm going to be doing, this just kind of give you like a highlight. I'm going to be doing some baking for Bo, and I'm doing like a chocolate cake because that's what he likes. But also I'm going to throw in some dark chocolate chips in there, just like a little bit, not too many, but just a little bit to kind of give it a little bit more of a cake. Chocolate chips are so expensive, but I went to Aldi's. I was like, oh my gosh, I should have been coming to Aldi's the whole time because chocolate chips are so much cheaper. So yeah, that's where I'll be getting like my chocolate chips from now on. And then next week, I have a lunch, and I'm kind of doing like a French raspberry cake bites. And you're like, girl, you're baking cake in this weather? I am, but I'm doing it because I get up really early to work out. So I'm kind of doing it, you know, like between my workout and when I clock in for work. So, because I, you know, work from home and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm like, oh wow, I totally have enough time to kind of throw those desserts in the oven and keep it moving on the Dusty Trail. Although with everything going on with the berry situation, I'll probably not do the raspberry part of the French vanilla cake bites. It might just be kind of more like a French vanilla cake bite. So that's kind of what I'm like contemplating the best way that I can do that. Maybe with like a little allspice. Allspice. Yeah, might do that. Now I'm like kind of like maybe look like a lemon allspice vanilla thing. That's pretty refreshing. I feel like, you know, using like some lemon juice or something like that. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay. Thanks so much for your support. You can find me at AuntLanie'sKitchen.com. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook under Aunt Lanie's Kitchen. I also have my podcast that comes out like weekly, sometimes bi-weekly basis, and that you can find that on Spotify, Apple, and I think iHeartRadio, to name a few places. And I'm trying to get better about, you know, putting them up on my YouTube channel. That kind of takes some time. So fingers crossed by the end of summer, I'll have everything like caught up on that YouTube channel as far as that. So you guys take care, and I will talk to you soon. I am about to heat these up, and I'll take pictures and post them later. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.